The boy stood frozen on the sidewalk, his backpack hanging low on his shoulder. Two uniformed officers laughed at him, mocking the way his shoes were worn out, as if he were invisible. What they didn't know, what no one around them knew, was that the boy's father held one of the most powerful positions in the nation. The laughter was sharp, cutting through the evening air like broken glass. Two officers leaned against their patrol car, chuckling at a boy no older than 14. His sneakers were scuffed, his jeans torn at the knees, and his eyes fixed firmly on the ground. Their words weren't cruel in volume, but in tone, laced with the sting of mockery. To them, he was just another kid from the wrong side of town, someone easy to dismiss, easy to laugh at. But deep inside, the boy's silence carried a weight far heavier than their careless laughter. His chest rose slowly, deliberately, as though he were holding in an ocean of words that would never be spoken. This boy, named Jordan, wasn't new to disrespect. He had faced it in classrooms, in stores, even from neighbors who passed judgment without knowing his heart. Yet, what no one in this moment realized was that his quiet strength came from someone he admired more than anyone else, his father. A man who had taught him the power of patience, the dignity of silence, and the unshakable truth that respect isn't demanded by words, but earned by presence. Jordan's father was no ordinary man. He was the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, a figure whose very name carried weight in the highest halls of justice. But to Jordan, he was just dad, a man who tucked him in at night, who shared stories of sacrifice and service, and who reminded him, always, that honor speaks loudest when silence stands tallest. Jordan could remember vividly the stories his father told, about dangerous missions, about protecting lives, about the lonely weight of leadership. His father spoke of fallen friends with a soft voice, of the smell of dust on foreign soil, of the sting of goodbyes that came too soon. Each story carved lessons deep into Jordan's heart: resilience, patience, strength without arrogance. Back on the street, the laughter grew. One officer nudged the other, pointing at Jordan's old backpack, suggesting it looked like it belonged in the trash. The bystanders nearby heard the words but stayed silent, their eyes sliding away, as if to avoid involvement. The world seemed complicit in the cruelty of the moment. Jordan remained still. His silence was not weakness, it was resistance. His father's voice echoed in his memory. You don't need to answer mockery with words. Your strength will reveal itself in time. What the officers didn't know was that the quiet boy had been on his way to meet his father for lunch, a rare escape from the endless meetings and late nights of FBI duty. Jordan's steps had slowed when he spotted the patrol car, not wanting to draw attention. But attention had found him anyway. The tension grew. The officers' smirks widened, their laughter louder, as if trying to provoke a reaction. Jordan's jaw tightened, his hands gripping the strap of his backpack. Around them, the restaurant's glass doors opened, and out stepped his father. He didn't wear a suit with badges or medals. He didn't carry a weapon. He walked simply, calmly, his presence quiet but commanding. His eyes took in the scene immediately, the slouched figures of the laughing officers, the stillness of his son, the silence of the crowd. And in that moment, everything shifted. The officers straightened instinctively, their laughter dying in their throats as recognition flickered across their faces. The man they had unknowingly mocked through his son was standing before them, not as an official, but as a father. He placed a steady hand on Jordan's shoulder, his voice calm, yet unshakable. Respect isn't about uniforms or titles. It's about how you treat those you believe can't answer back. The words hung heavy in the air. Jordan didn't need to say anything. His silence had spoken volumes, and now his father's presence made the lesson complete. The bystanders who had looked away now leaned forward, their shame mirrored in their eyes. The officers swallowed hard, their smirks erased, replaced by something deeper, regret. Jordan's father met their gaze, not with anger, but with a truth that cut sharper than any rebuke. Power is wasted when it mocks the powerless. True strength is measured in dignity. Those words would echo long after that day. The officers lowered their heads, the crowd murmured, and for the first time in the boy's young life, respect radiated around him not because of who his father was, but because of who he himself had chosen to be, a son of silence, a boy of dignity. The lesson was clear. Sometimes the loudest voice in the room is the one that never speaks. As Jordan and his father walked away, the boy's heart was steady, proud. His silence had been tested, and in that silence, he had discovered his greatest strength. Respect isn't about uniforms or titles. It's about how you treat those you believe can't answer back. Respect is not about who wears the badge, the title, or the uniform. It is about recognizing the dignity of every human being, no matter how young or small they may seem. Jordan's silence showed the world that sometimes the strongest response is no response at all.